In this episode of 2500 Calories, I wanted to compare Starbucks and Dunkin Donuts breakfast menus to see which is the best for getting my daily 2500 caloric intake and provide the most vitamins and nutrients. I reached out to nutritionist Samantha Cassetty for tips on how to make healthier choices, like looking closer to the ingredients label, and exploring the sides to fill in nutritional gaps. I painfully calculated the best orders for each place, which was harder than it looks, compared the costs, and broke each order down to one portion, comparing the colorful and much healthier looking Starbucks versus the more breakfasty looking brown rainbow that is Dunkin' Donuts. Just so we can be perfectly clear about it, it probably is not a good idea to get all of my calories by eating donuts. Yes?
That's correct. Don't think that when you go into Starbucks, it's a ton healthier than the Dunkin' Donuts breakfast sandwiches, because you have, in both cases, a lot of fillers in the eggs, a lot of refined grains, and processed meats.
What are some of the items that you would suggest I get when trying to reach the 2,500 calories at Starbucks?
I would go for the spinach feta and cage-free egg white wrap, and I think I would dip that in some avocado spread. That avocado has those healthy fats, and healthy fats are actually loaded with some calories. But when you look to see all of the added fillers that are in the eggs, I think it's probably, not ideal for every day. For one thing, I think it's a good idea to look at the side things. So like banana, orange, the seasonal fruit blend. They have a bunch of packaged nuts that are great options, yogurts and things like that in the side cases. Mm-hmm. I was impressed by the oatmeal because it's mostly just oats, and then you can add in the other toppings as you like.
Dunkin' Donuts, they do have a DD Smart menu that I think is meant to be a little bit healthier. First impressions of their menu for breakfast, what did you think?
There's really very little produce on this menu. I thought the veggie egg white sandwich would be one of the healthier choices there. I think it's peppers and some vegetables. It does have a controlled amount of sodium for a restaurant meal. 550 milligrams is actually not bad for a restaurant meal. It contains some fiber.
Yeah, I'm looking at the DD Smart, and real quick, it says on here, the food and beverages DD Smart logo are reducing calories, fat, saturated fat, sugars, sodium, at least 25% compared to the base product or other appropriate reference products. It seems like a really roundabout way of saying, of all the things that you can get, these are the least worst.
These are not the worst things on the menu, but you could do better elsewhere.
So it looks like Dunkin' Donuts is going to be a tougher one.
They just do not hit a home run.
All right, sound levels checking. And close it up. Definitely feel like I've got a lot more better information for making healthier choices. So I feel like first thing I should be getting is the feta guy. Yep. Yeah, I should say try yogurt. The calculated nutritional facts. Is this for everything? I'm only at 520. Southwest veggie wrap. All right, that's got some veg in it. All right, 1100. There we go. Is it saying sodium? Already at 95% of my sodium for the day. Ooh. Okay, so we hit the 100% of my sodium. Ooh, the cholesterol. It's already a lot of cholesterol. I'm not even there yet. So from this point forward, everything I'm adding is just extra sodium. Yes, they got the avocado spread. Oh, banana's 110 calories, is that right? And then the fruit and nut blend. All right, so I need 1,180 more calories. How many bananas is that? 10. Oh my God, the double chocolatey chip frappuccino is 520 calories. Is that available? And a bag of almonds. That's 260. Let's double check my math. 1320. What did I do wrong? Oh, I was gonna do another banana, right? Do another banana. Okay, let's do Dunkin' Donuts. I'm just looking for the word veggie. 45% of my sodium from one sandwich. Good Lord. The DD Smart, that's what I'm looking for. This is the healthier than the other stuff on our menu list. What if we did the turkey sausage English muffin? Hey, and a multigrain bagel. Let's get some bagels on this. Dunkin', come on guys. You don't have any, fruit cup? I need 1,000 more calories. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Each serving will come with a donut. Yeah, each serving comes with a side of donut. All right, it would be ridiculous to not get at least one donut at Dunkin' Donuts. I realize I'm getting 3, but what do you want? What do you want from me? So using the calculator app, $26.90, give or take a few calories depending on which donuts will be available there. Don't think this is the worst order I could have gotten here because I am getting the egg white veggie wake-up wrap. I am getting some oatmeal with dried fruit on it. I am getting fire roasted veggies in that burrito bowl. Egg white flatbread, multigrain bagel, veggie cream cheese, the sodium. I mean, what am I gonna do, man? I think overall I'm feeling pretty good about these orders, so I'm gonna put them in right now. And now the cost breakdowns. For Starbucks, Southwest Veggie Wrap. They were all out of Southwest Veggie Wrap, so they gave me 2 spinach feta and cage-free egg white wraps instead, which is okay, I guess. $4.15. Fruit and nuts, $2.25. Hearty blueberry oatmeal, $3.75. Berry trio parfait, $3.75. Classic almonds, $2.25. And a venti white chocolate mocha frappuccino, $5.45. 2 bananas, $2.50. Strawberry overnight grains, $3.75. Avocado spread, $1.25. And this Peter Rabbit organic strawberry banana thingy for $2.25. Total for this trip, there's probably a price difference for the substitution of the wrap, but I don't know if they changed that. Anyway, Dunkin' Donuts. We got bagel and cream cheese, $2.99. Veggie egg white omelet, $4.29. Wake up wrap, the veggie egg white and cheese one, $1.99. Egg white bowl, $5.49. Sweet black pepper snack and bacon, $2.49. Hash browns, $1.49. Jelly donut, $1.39. Chocolate frosted donut, $1.39. And a glazed donut, $1.39. And the total for that trip, I was assuming Starbucks would be way more expensive, but looking at the total cost before delivery fees, Dunkin' Donuts is not that much cheaper. Let's take a look at one portion for each. Starbucks, a third of each wrap. Now add the oatmeal. I know you wouldn't normally do this, and I gotta give it up to Starbucks, this oatmeal is thick. Almonds, F and N's. Measure these bananas real quick. I got these bananas for pickup, and they're a little greener than I'd prefer. Definitely not the ones I would have picked. Let's not forget that Frappuccino. Actually, this doesn't seem like that much. Alright, not a bad plate. I also forgot I had the avo spread, strawberry parfait, and this weird puree thing, so imagine a third of these in the mix. Dunkin' Donuts time. What does a third of a bagel look like? Or a third of a breakfast sandwich? Okay, I gotta say, I'm kinda liking the looks of this one more. Looks more breakfasty. It seems Starbucks is more for the light and healthy breakfast crowd, where Dunkin's is for the eggs, bacon, and potato crowd. Although Starbucks has better produce options, the sodium and cholesterol in the sandwiches and wraps are still pretty high. And their eggs have ingredients that make them more than just eggs. So when it comes to the sandwiches and wraps, Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts are pretty similar. What I liked about Starbucks were the sides, like the avocado spread, the nuts, and the fruit, which were great for getting much needed nutritional boosts. And you know what? I want to give Dunkin' Donuts points for offering a side of bacon. Bacon's amazing, and I commend them for giving the people what they want. At both places, I tacked on either a venti frappuccino or a bunch of donuts to hit my calorie goal. So both menus require this kind of balancing act of sugar versus carbs versus sodium that can be very frustrating. Starbucks does not share their vitamin info. Why? I have no idea. But if you were looking to get specific vitamins from Dunkin' Donuts breakfast, here's a few ways. For your daily vitamin C, 2 fire-roasted veggie burrito bowls or 3 power breakfast sandwich should do it. Vitamin A. The breakfast sandwich with the most vitamin A is the all-you-can-eat breakfast sandwich. To get your daily requirement, you'd need to eat 5 of them, but that's also 7,700 milligrams of sodium, so please don't do that. Iron. To get all the 8 milligrams you need, just have 1 Dunkin' double veggie sausage sandwich. Booyah! Calcium. 1 Beyond sausage sandwich has 245 milligrams of calcium, so if you have 4 of those, that bumps you up to roughly 980. Throw in a plain bagel for an extra 20 milligrams, and there you go. Potassium. To hit the 4,700 milligrams, you should eat about 11 double sausage breakfast sandwiches. Yeah, don't do that. Alright, once again, I'll portion these up, toss them in the fridge, and see how I fare over the next 2 days. Bye!